If you're looking for your next real estate investment and you don't know where to go, look no further than Lazyboots. It is hands down the best all-inclusive, all-in-one, one-stop shop tool for finding your next investment. If you want to find where to invest, you can use Lazyboots to really narrow down not just the state or the city you want to invest in, because you have all the options, but also the neighborhood within a city. And we can get very specific. Now, there are other videos on this YouTube channel you can go and look at for other examples. I'm going to show you how you can look at crime statistics through Lazyboots very, very easily, all the way from states down to the neighborhood level. If you're a remote investor and you're looking for where to invest next, hello, my name is Andre. I'm the founder of Lazyboots. I've built it from the ground up, and I'm going to show you how to use it. So on the screen, we've got the neighborhood tab currently selected. If you don't know which city or even which state you want to check out, that's fine. Just click the tab you want to start in. And let's add some states right now. Texas is a hot one. Let's add Texas. You can see here on the left, I've already got some criteria selected. House value and crime. I'm just going to get rid of house value. And crime was added. If you just click this edit button here, here's all of the criteria we currently support. If you know what you want, go ahead and select them. If you don't know what you want, you can use one of these presets if you want to do something like cheap, high growth, supply and demand, price to rent ratio. All of these options are pre-selected for you. Let's just focus on crime. Crime is a big one. You want to see low crime, obviously, where you're going to be investing. So I'm going to go ahead and close and refresh this. Let's add a couple more. Florida, that's the state I'm in. I'm happy here. A lot of people are talking about Indiana these days. And of course, Ohio is a big one. And so you can see as I add these in, it's already building out this list and it's ranking them based on the criteria we've given. Look at the ranking criteria here on the left. The ranking criteria right now has total crime. So for total crime being low, Indiana comes out on top and Texas comes out on bottom. And we can see that Texas has about 800,000 incidents and Indiana has about 150,000 incidents. So it's ranking based on total crime. If I toggle this to be high, now we're prioritizing high crime, and so, which you don't want to do. You want crime to be low. So Texas is now number 1 and Indiana is now number 4. So that is how you add crime into your research when you're looking at states. Now, the nice thing about Lazyboots and the power behind it is we can add other criteria as well. Let's also add in now, I'm going to throw in ethnic diversity. It's another new feature that I've recently added. It's going to pull all of the data of the different ethnic types and their percentages, bring that down. It's going to boil that down to one number that is going to give you a diversity score for a city. And if you're a good investor and you want to have a good investment, is low crime, we know that, but you want high ethnic diversity. You don't want really just one race being in your neighborhood. So at the state level, it's not the best thing to look at, I suppose, but it's interesting. But especially when at the neighborhood level, all of this stuff really matters a lot more. So we can see here with high ethnic diversity and low crime, they're basically in the same order as they were before. If I wanted to prioritize diversity over crime, I could pull that to the top. And that's going to bring it up. And we can see the diversity scores for Indiana's 33%, which is actually relatively low. And Texas is 58%, which is relatively high. So that's pretty nice. I might need to do some updates on the crime scores, since that's clearly a much larger number. It's being weighted a little bit more. But usually these will be rated or weighted top to bottom. So total crime, ethnic diversity. All right, let's move on to cities, right? So we're here looking at states, and it's the same thing when you go to cities. So I'm going to do the same thing, diversity and crime. Let's add those. Remember to add the cities because we don't have any in yet. So let's add some of the cities from those states we were just looking at. Let's do Austin, Texas. let's give that a second. Indianapolis. There we go. It's a lot of letters in that one. What else do we do? Ohio. Let's throw in, once this is done loading, we're going to throw in Cleveland. Looks like Indianapolis is missing some data. We'll take a look at that in just a second. And let's throw in Orlando. It's a little harder to see on the map when we're doing cities because their outlines are smaller, but just like states and just like neighborhoods, you'll see in a second, we outline the cities on the map with, and then color them based on their rankings. So it's a little harder to see, but you can still check out the list here. So it looks like Indianapolis doesn't have crime for this data set, unfortunately. So I'll look into that. But not every city is going to have every data point, right? Rent is one that's been tricky to find everywhere. But luckily, we're going to show you very soon a feature on the neighborhoods tab where you can find rents through Zillow in just one click. So very, very useful. So all right, here we can see the same things. We can see the ethnic diversity against the total crime. And again, Austin, Texas ranks low on crime ranks high in crime, which is, bad, right? About 40,000 incidents compared to Orlando, which is about 16,000. And this is polling data from, I believe it's 2019. So ethnic diversity is kind of the same across these cities, which is cool to see. It's the crime that is kind of being the determining factor here because the ethnic diversity is all pretty close. If I make this low, let's see, they're not going to really flip around. Okay. But it shows you that total crime and, obviously any other criteria you can throw in here are available. But really wanted to prioritize crime in this video because it's our latest data point that we've added. So let's go ahead and dive into one of these cities. Let's do Orlando just for the fun of it. Indianapolis is our number one, but we're missing this data point here. So let's just dive into Orlando. So I'm going to click the neighborhoods tab. And I could go there via the map. I'm also just going to type in Orlando just to kind of zoom the map there already. And then I'm going to say, again, total crime and ethnic diversity. Remember to add the neighborhoods by choosing a radius. So neighborhoods are a little bit different. We're going to select a radius around the center of the map we want to look at. I'll just select 5 miles. I'll probably have to zoom in more. That's probably not too big. Yep, so let's zoom in here. And so we can see that for low crime and high ethnic diversity, the outskirts of Orlando is probably a bit of a better place to look investment-wise than the center of the city. No surprise, right? Downtown will likely have more crime than in the suburbs, right? If I toggle this high, now we've got high crime, high diversity. We can do high crime, low diversity. It's really up to you how you want to use all of these criteria, rank them in order, and then specify if you want those things to be high or low based on what you're looking for an investment. So you can kind of narrow down your ABC class neighborhoods by using Lazyboots and using the flexibility of the ranking criteria. So that's pretty much it. But I also want to show you the finding the rents through Zillow. So let's just say we pick one of these neighborhoods. Let's pick, let's see, number 2 is just probably a big lake community. That could be fun. I don't like this top one, number 1, because it's so close to the freeway. So for me personally, I wouldn't want to be in an area that noisy. So let's just go to this neighborhood here. We're around Lake Jessamine. So if I expand this tab just by clicking on it or clicking this arrow, this neighborhood, and this number here, it's not great, but that's the number that the government has given this neighborhood. They're actually smaller than neighborhoods by name. These are smaller areas, so I can't really give it a name because the area, and if I zoom out here, Pine Castle, Edgewood is larger than these actual shaded areas. So right now we're using numbers. And so if you see this search Zillow button right here, I'm going to go ahead and click that. And that's going to take us to Zillow, outline that specific neighborhood, and now we can see properties for sale. Now, if you're an investor looking for off-market deals, you're probably not going to be interested in any of the properties actually listed on Zillow, but you might be interested in rents and rent values. So if I go up here and go for sale and click for rent and done, I can see now the rental properties that are available for rent, and I can do some comparisons. So it's super easy to go from Lazyboots to Zillow and then back if you want to do a bit more research and find another neighborhood. I can, click this one above it, expand it, search Zillow again. And now I can compare this one with that one. So if I go for rent here, all right, there's nothing for rent in this tract, in this neighborhood. So let's do for sale, go back to my other tab, for sale. And so you can, do a real quick comparison of this neighborhood versus this neighborhood. This neighborhood has houses at 430, maybe that's the average right there. And this one down here, 900,000, 400, 2 million. So good comparison tool. Using Lazyboots with Zillow, I think it's great. I'm definitely using it in my research. And that's it for this video, guys. Lazyboots makes it so easy to look at different criteria, including now with crime that we added, diversity that we added, property search through Zillow, rent search through Zillow, for these specific neighborhoods. So as you find the neighborhoods you like, definitely favorite them. Click the little heart, give them a favorite. We'll be adding features soon that you can use for your use with your favorites. But hey, that's it, guys. If you liked this video, please please subscribe, keep updated with the next things we have coming down the line. Very excited. We've got a lot of things coming up for you. So drop any comments below with what you thought about this and how we can tailor Lazyboots to be better for you, the investor. Because I'm an investor, I'm using this, but I don't want this to be just for me. I want this to be for everyone. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and good luck out there.